Hello students, welcome to KENE'S Educare. Today in the session of class 7th Geography, we will read and learn about lesson number 2, Inside Our Earth. Okay, we'll read कि अर्थ के अंदर क्या होता है. Alright? And in this chapter, we are going to read and learn about the following topics. First will be interiors of the earth, कि अर्थ के अंदर होता क्या क्या है. Then we will read about the rocks and minerals, under which we will read the types of rocks and how these rocks are formed. Okay, formation of such rocks. Then we will recall the chapter with the help of some exercises. Alright. Before switching on to this chapter 2, let's have a quick recap on what we studied in chapter number 1. In chapter 1, we read about what is environment, how environment is our basic life support system, and how we change and modify the environment constantly. Then we read the biotic and abiotic elements of the environment. Then we read about the natural environment. Then we also saw that we live on earth and not inside earth, because the inside picture of the earth looks somewhat like this. Then under the natural environment, we read various domains of natural environment such as lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and then biosphere. Then we also read about what is ecosystem. एक होता है environment और एक होता है ecosystem. We read about that also. Moved on to the topic of human environment as well. And now we are going to have a closer look on the interiors of the earth. So let's get started with the chapter. Now starting off with our chapter Inside Our Earth, जिसमें हम ये पढ़ने वाले that what is inside our earth, what is our earth made up of and everything. The earth, our homeland, is a dynamic planet. It is constantly undergoing changes inside as well as outside. Have you ever wondered what lies in the interior of the earth? Because we live on the earth, है ना? ये continent है हमारा. This is India. We live here. We live on earth. But what is inside the earth? Have you ever doubted this? What is the earth made up of? We will read about this in the interior of the earth. Just like an onion, the earth is made up of several concentric layers with one side another. One inside another. One inside another. जैसे onion देखा है, onion में क्या होता है? एक के बाद एक layer होती है. And they are also concentric. Why concentric? Because center एक ही होता है. Center is one, but there are multiple layers. Similarly, earth also has various layers having one common center. Okay? The uppermost layer over the earth's surface is called the crust. ये जो सबसे ऊपर वाला लेयर होता है ना, इसे हम crust कहते हैं. It is the thinnest of all the layers. सबसे thin layer यही होती है crust की. ठीक है, आपको तो लगेगा अरे हम लोग तो इस पे रहते हैं, ये तो बहुत strong होनी चाहिए थी, ये तो बहुत thick होनी चाहिए थी. The crust is very strong, but it is not thick. It's the thinnest of all the layers. It is about 35 km on the continental mass and only 5 km on the ocean floors. Okay? अगर continent से, if from the continent you go inside the earth, then it will be 35 kilometers. But अगर ocean से if you want to go inside the earth, then it will be only 5 kilometers deep. Okay, 5 kilometers deep. And from the continent, it's only 35 kilometers deep. The main mineral constituents of the continental mass are silica and alumina. अब आप ये सोचो कि ये crust बना किससे हुआ है? The crust is made up of silica and alumina. All right. And it is thus called सियाल. हम इसी को सियाल कहते हैं. Crust किससे बना होता है? सियाल से. Silica, alumina. The oceanic crust mainly consists of silica and magnesium. But ये जो oceanic crust है, ocean वाला crust, it is made up of silica and magnesium. That is why it is known as SEMA. Silica and magnesium. So, if I will ask you, the continental crust is made up of, you will say Sial. And if I will ask, oceanic crust is made up of, you will say SEMA. Repeat with me. Continental crust is made up of Sial and oceanic crust is made up of SEMA. Sial means silica and alumina, and SEMA means silica and magnesium. Okay, this is the first layer of the earth which is the thinnest layer. If you want to go inside the earth from the continent, you have to dig 35 kilometers. But if you want to go inside the earth from the ocean floor, it is 5 kilometer. क्योंकि 5 किलोमीटर के बाद दूसरी लेयर शुरू हो जाती है जिसका नाम है मैंटल. ठीक है, we will read about it. Just beneath the crust is the mantle, which extends up to a depth of 2,900 kilometer. Crust 35 किलोमीटर के बाद आ जाता है मैंटल, और फिर 2,900 किलोमीटर तक मैंटल ही चलता रहता है. ओके, बिलो द crust, then mantle. The innermost layer is the core with a radius of about 3,500 kilometer, और last layer होती है core की, which has a radius of 3,500 kilometer. Why are we saying radius? Because earth यहाँ से तो पतला है पर यहाँ से तो मोटा है ना. And to measure the core, you need to know the radius. किसी भी सर्कल, अर्थ थोड़ा सा सर्कल जैसा लगता है ना, सर्कल है नहीं बट सर्कल जैसा लगता है ना. And if you want to study the dimensions of the circle, you need to know the radius, right? So the radius of the core is 3,500 kilometers. It is mainly made up of nickel and iron. Nickel and iron. Okay, nice. The central core has very high temperature and pressure. ये जो central core area है ना, the inner core area, this portion has a very high temperature. Okay, so we read about crust, we read about mantle, and then we read about core. So these are the three layers inside the earth. Okay, crust आता है, then inside the earth comes the mantle, then comes the core. Okay, so these are the layers of the earth. Now here is some quick information for you. The deepest mine in the world is in South Africa. It is 4 kilometer deep. In search for oil, engineers have dug a hole of 6 kilometer deep. Oil निकालने के लिए they have dug the mine up to 6 kilometers. To reach to the center of the earth, which is not possible. It's not possible कि आप core तक dig कर लीजिए. It's not possible. You will have to dig a hole of 6,000 kilometers deep on the ocean floor. Okay? Ocean floor से dig करने जाओगे and then you have to dig up to 6,000 kilometers. Only then you can reach the interior of the earth, which is impossible because even the engineers have only dig up to 6 kilometers. जब engineers ने 6 किलोमीटर dig किया है to extract the oil, then it's impossible to dig 6,000 kilometers to reach the interior of the earth. All right. Second piece of information. Do you know the crust forms only 1% of the volume of the earth? पूरे अर्थ का जितना वॉल्यूम है ना, Earth's volume, the crust has only 1% of the volume. 84% volume is carried by mantle. Mantle इतना heavy है that it has 84% of the Earth's volume. And core, the inside part, the deepest part, the core has 15% of the volume. So सबसे ज्यादा वॉल्यूम किसका है? मैंटल का. रिपीट विद मी. सबसे ज्यादा वॉल्यूम किसका है? मैंटल का, देन कोर का, देन क्रस्ट का. क्रस्ट हैज ओनली 1% ऑफ द वॉल्यूम ऑफ अर्थ, मैंटल हैज 84% ऑफ वॉल्यूम ऑफ अर्थ, एंड कोर हैज 15% ऑफ वॉल्यूम ऑफ अर्थ. ओके, द रेडियस मेक्स द कोर, और रेडियस कितना है? 6371 किलोमीटर. कितना रेडियस है? 6371 kilometer. This is the radius of earth. Okay, this is the radius of earth, 6371 kilometer. Here is another image showing the continental crust, the continent, the ocean and the oceanic crust. हम लोगों ने last chapter में पढ़ा था lithosphere, that it is the land portion of the earth. तो land तो ये भी है और land ये भी है. The oceans also have land deep down. Oceans also have land deep down. That is why there are two kinds of crust. Continental crust भी होता है, oceanic crust भी होता है. Okay? So there are two types of crust because land is available on the continent as well as beneath the ocean also. Okay? So crust, then mantle, then core. Now let's read a very important topic, rocks and minerals. क्योंकि अब inside the earth पढ़ रहे हैं तो जाहिर सी बात है the earth has various rocks and we need to know as well as minerals. So we need to know about the rocks, the kinds of rocks and the minerals inside those rocks. All right. The earth's crust is made up of various types of rocks. जो earth का crust है ना, the entire crust, the crust is made up of types of rocks. Any natural mass of mineral matter that makes up the earth's crust, उसी को हम रॉक कहते हैं. रॉक क्या होता है? रॉक इज एक्चुअली अमेलगमेशन ऑफ मिनरल या फिर कह सकते हो मास ऑफ मिनरल मैटर which is on the earth's crust is called a rock. Rocks can be of different color, different size and different texture as well. उनका अलग कलर हो सकता है, अलग साइज हो सकता है, अलग टेक्सचर भी हो सकता है. When the molten magma cools, it's solid, it becomes solid. Magma देखा है कभी? मैग्मा क्यों देखा होगा आपने? आई विल शो यू मैग्मा क्या होता है. कभी वोल्केनो से बाहर कोई ऐसी वीडियो देखी जिसमें वोल्केनो के बाहर लावा निकल रहा होता है बहुत तेज? ओके, व्हेन सच मैग्मा, अभी हम लोगों ने जो पढ़ा था इनसाइड द अर्थ कोर में मैग्मा होता है. व्हेन सच मैग्मा कूल्स डाउन एंड देन इट बिकम्स सॉलिड, इस सॉलिड रॉक को हम इग्नियस रॉक कहते हैं. सो एनी रॉक which is made up of solidification of magma, then it is known as an igneous rock. Any rock made up because of the solidification of magma is known as igneous rock. Repeat with me. Any rock which is made up of solidification of magma is known as igneous rock. और इन्हें हम प्राइमरी रॉक्स भी कहते हैं. इन्हें कई बार फायर रॉक्स भी कहा जाता है बिकॉज दे आर मेड अप ऑफ magma, they are made up of solid magma. Okay, there are various other types of rocks also जिनके बारे में हम आगे पढ़ेंगे. There are three major types of rocks. First is igneous rock, sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock. Okay, we'll read about all these कि ये लोग कौन कौन होते हैं. अच्छा, igneous rocks are of two types. एक होते हैं intrusive igneous rocks, एक होते हैं extrusive igneous rocks. ठीक है, we will read about these as well. यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ pictures दे रखी हैं. This is an image of an igneous rock. This is an image of a sedimentary rock. नाम से ही समझ में आ रहा है सेडिमेंट की हेल्प से बना हुआ कोई भी रॉक इज नोन एज सेडिमेंट्री रॉक. एंड देन हियर इज एन इमेज ऑफ मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक व्हिच इज मेड बिकॉज ऑफ हीट एंड प्रेशर. अभी आप लोग आगे पढ़ेंगे, डोंट वरी, आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू अ हिंट राइट नाउ. मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक आर मेड आउट ऑफ हीट एंड प्रेशर. Here are some images. Now we will read igneous rock के two types, intrusive, extrusive. Then we will read about sedimentary rock and then we will read about metamorphic rocks also. तो कितने टाइप के रॉक होते हैं? तीन टाइप के रॉक होते हैं. रिपीट विद मी, कितने टाइप के रॉक होते हैं? तीन टाइप के रॉक होते हैं. igneous rock, sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock. आपसे कोई भी पूछेगा कितने टाइप के रॉक होते हैं? 3. igneous rock, sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock. Igneous rock are made when magma solidifies. When magma cools down and solidifies, it is formed an igneous rock. Okay? Now children, can you imagine lava coming out of from the volcanoes? कभी volcano के कोई pictures देखे हैं और उसमें से lava बाहर आ रहा है? If not, I will show you. Wait. See children, this is the magma coming out of inside the earth. Can you see this orange lava? When lava comes out, this is the magma. Okay? This is the lava coming out from inside the earth. And as soon as this magma is coming out, it is solidifying. आसपास देख रहे हो पूरे rock बन गए हैं. Because the magma has solidified. Magma जैसे ही बाहर आता है ना, it rapidly starts cooling down and forms rocks. Okay? And such rocks, such formation of rocks are known as igneous rock. इन्हीं rocks को igneous rock कहा जाता है, which are formed after cooling down of the magma. Okay. अच्छा, मैं कभी lava कह रही हूँ, कभी magma कह रही हूँ, है ना? That this is because if the molten form is inside the earth, it is known as magma. But when that molten form comes out of the earth, it is known as lava. जब तक ये फॉर्मेशन, ये जो पूरा लोशन बाहर निकल रहा है ना, as long as this lotion is inside the earth, it is known as magma. But when it comes out, it bursts out, it is known as lava. So actually this is the lava which is solidifying and forming rocks known as igneous rocks. So as you saw, lava is actually fiery red molten magma coming out from the interior of the earth on its surface. Interior of the earth से ही वो lava बाहर आ रहा था. Okay? When this molten lava comes on the surface, earth's surface, it rapidly cools down. जैसे ही magma बाहर आता है जमीन पे on the crust, when it comes on the crust, it solidifies because it cools down and then it becomes solid. Okay, solidifies. Rocks formed in such a way on the crust are called extrusive igneous rocks. जब कभी भी magma or you can say lava, when it comes out and it cools down on the crust and solidifies to make a rock, then such rocks are known as extrusive igneous rocks. Igneous क्या होता है ये तुमने पढ़ लिया कि मैग्मा अगर बाहर आ रहा है and then it is forming a rock, then it is igneous rock. मैग्मा बाहर आकर अगर ठंडा होता है तो उसे हम एक्सट्रूसिव igneous rock कहते हैं. मैग्मा अंदर ही अंदर अगर ठंडा हो जाए तो उसे हम intrusive igneous rocks कहते हैं. Intrusive, but we'll read this further. Wait. Rocks formed in such a way on the crust are called extrusive igneous rock. They have a very fine grained structure. बहुत ही fine grained structure होता है, एकदम grains आपको clearly उस rocks पे दिख रहे होंगे because it's solidified after cooling. It's solidified after cooling of magma outside the earth, right? On the earth's surface. That is why they have heavy grains. For example, basalt. Basalt एक ऐसा rock है which is an extrusive igneous rock, that means formed out of the cool down and solidification of magma. All right, the entire Deccan Plateau, ये जो अपना पूरा Deccan Plateau वाला region है ना, this India का ये पूरा Deccan Plateau region, ये पूरा basalt से बना हुआ है. That means it is formed with the help of solidification of magma only. Okay. Now, sometimes the molten magma cools down deep inside the Earth's crust. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि क्रस्ट के अंदर जाके कहीं मॉल्टन सॉलिड बनता है. ओके, क्रस्ट है, क्रस्ट के अंदर मैग्मा चला जाता है एंड देन इट सॉलिडिफाइज समवेयर इनसाइड द क्रस्ट. देन इट इज नोन एज इंट्रूसिव igneous rocks. All right, since they cool down slowly, they form large grains. अब जो जमीन के ऊपर कोई चीज ठंडी होती है तो जल्दी होती है. When something cools down inside the crust, then it will take some time, right? That is why the intrusive igneous rocks take a lot of time. They cool down very slowly. That is why they have large grains. Whereas the extrusive igneous rocks rapidly cools down on the surface of the earth. That is why they have very fine grained structure. Whereas the intrusive igneous rocks have large grains. याद रखना, एक्सट्रूसिव के फाइन ग्रेन्स होते हैं, इंट्रूसिव के लार्ज ग्रेन्स होते हैं. ऑलराइट, एग्जांपल इज ग्रेनाइट. ग्रेनाइट इज सच एन एग्जांपल. ग्रेनाइट इज फॉर्म्ड व्हेन द मैग्मा सॉलिडिफाइज इनसाइड द लेयर ऑफ द क्रस्ट एंड देन इट सॉलिडिफाइज. ग्रेनाइट इज वन सच एग्जांपल ऑफ इंट्रूसिव igneous rock. Okay, grinding stones used to prepare paste or powder of spices and grains are made up of granite also. वो पत्थर देखा है जिसपे चटनी बनाती थी मम्मी लोग पुराने जमाने में? हाँ, I will show you. वो ग्राइंडिंग स्टोन ग्रेनाइट से ही बना होता है. मैं भी आपको फोटो दिखाती हूँ उसकी. अच्छा, यहाँ पे हम लोगों ने कुछ वर्ड्स पढ़े हैं. पहला है igneous. Igneous is actually a Latin word, ignis, meaning fire. Sedimentary, which is also a Latin word, sedimentum, meaning settle down. Then comes metamorphic, which is a Greek word, not a Latin word. It's a Greek word, means metamorphos, जिसका मतलब होता है चेंज होना. सबका अपना अपना मीनिंग है. Igneous, which is made up of magma, that is why igneous have the meaning of fire. Sedimentary, जो कि कहीं सेटल हो जाते हैं sediments, तब वो rock form होते हैं, right? Sedimentary rocks are formed when any particles and sediments settle at some place because they settle down. They have the meaning settle down, and thus they are known as sedimentary rocks. Metamorphic are such rocks which change their form due to heat and pressure. That is why they are known as metamorphic. और यहाँ पे meaning में भी लिखा हुआ है, they change. Okay. देन फॉसिल्स, अभी हम लोग पढ़ेंगे फॉसिल्स के बारे में. द रिमेन्स ऑफ डेड प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स ट्रैप्ड इन द लेयर्स ऑफ रॉक्स आर कॉल्ड फॉसिल. फॉसिल क्या होते हैं? किसी भी प्लांट एंड एनिमल का डेड रिमेन जो मिट्टी में मिक्स हो जाए, देन इट इज नोन एज अ फॉसिल. ऑल राइट, बट चिल्ड्रन होता क्या है? रॉक्स रोल डाउन, रॉक्स गिरते हैं, दे क्रैक and they hit each other and are broken down into small fragments. Rocks एक जगह पहाड़ी पे बैठे थोड़ी ना रहते हैं सालों साल. They hit each other, they roll down, they crack, they break into pieces, right? They break into small fragments, and these smaller particles are called sediments. यही जो fragments बन रहे हैं ना, ये टूटे हुए हिस्से, these particles are called sediments. These sediments are transported and deposited. अब ट्रांसपोर्ट कैसे हो रहे हैं? कोई ट्रक से थोड़ा लेके जा रहा है इन सेडिमेंट्स को. These sediments are transported and deposited by the help of wind, water, etc. हवा आई, हवा के साथ ये सेडिमेंट्स उड़ के चले गए. पानी बह रहा था, रिवर बह रही थी, रिवर में ये सेडिमेंट्स मिलके चले गए. ग्लेशियर बह रहा था, ग्लेशियर के साथ ये सेडिमेंट्स बह के चले गए. So with the help of these sources, the sediments are transported and deposited. यहाँ पे मैं केवल ट्रांसपोर्टेशन की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. I am talking about deposition also. That means these sediments go away with some source and then some at other place, किसी और जगह पे at some other place they get deposited also. Okay? These loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form layers of rocks. ये सेडिमेंट जहां पे भी इकट्ठे होते हैं, एक के ऊपर एक लेयर बनती जाती है, एंड दीज आर कंप्रेस्ड, दीज आर हार्डन्ड अंडर प्रेशर, एंड देन दे फॉर्म लेयर्स ऑफ रॉक्स. दीज टाइप्स ऑफ रॉक्स आर कॉल्ड सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स, क्योंकि ये रॉक्स सेडिमेंट्स की लेयर से बने होते हैं. हेंस दीज आर नोन एज सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल sandstone, it's a form of rock which is made up of grains of sand. Sand की grain से बना हुआ होता है sandstone, and it is a sedimentary rock because it is made up of the layers of sediments deposited one upon each other. Okay, these rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms. Always remember, sedimentary rocks have the fossils. सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स के अंदर ही फॉसिल्स पाई जाती हैं. बिकॉज व्हाट इज फॉसिल? कोई अगर एक प्लांट मर गया, देयर वाज सम प्लांट व्हिच डाइड एंड द रिमेन्स ऑफ सच प्लांट डिपॉजिटेड ऑन द सैंड. ये टूट गया, मर गया प्लांट, और ये सेडिमेंट्स, ये जो सैंड है यहाँ पे, इसी के ऊपर इसके रिमेन्स गिरे हुए हैं. नाउ दीज सेडिमेंट्स विल बी ट्रांसपोर्टेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ विंड, विद द हेल्प ऑफ रिवर, एंड दे विल बी डिपॉजिटेड एट सम अदर प्लेस. So the fossil of this plant got carried away with the sediment of sand to some other place, having the fossil of plant. That is why sedimentary rocks have fossils of plants, animals, and even microorganisms that once lived on them. ठीक है? हर चीज sand के ऊपर गिरती है ना, and the sand is the elements, the fragments, the particles of the sand are carried away, transported and deposited to some other place. और यही sediments sedimentary rock बनाते हैं. That is why sedimentary rocks have fossils of plants, animals, and microorganisms. Igneous. Now we talk about igneous and sedimentary rocks. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks. देखा? Surprising बात. Let me erase this ink. Igneous and sedimentary rocks जो होते हैं, they can be changed into metamorphic rocks also. कैसे? कोई भी एक igneous rock है या कोई भी एक sedimentary rock है और उसके ऊपर लेयर आई जा रही है, okay? Because of constant heat and pressure over these rocks, they change their form. And when they change their form, because of heat and pressure, they turn into metamorphic rocks. कोई भी igneous या sedimentary rock heat and pressure की वजह से अपना form change कर ले, then that rock is known as metamorphic rock. For example, clay changes into slate. लाइमस्टोन चेंजेस इनटू मार्बल, क्ले जो होता है वो स्लेट में बदल जाता है, लाइमस्टोन जो होता है वो मार्बल में बदल जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ हीट एंड प्रेशर. ओके, अच्छा, जस्ट नाउ वी रेड दैट igneous, where is igneous? Igneous and sedimentary changes into metamorphic under heat and pressure. Under heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rock. But that doesn't happen only once. No, it keeps happening more times, one after the other. And even metamorphic rocks can also be converted into igneous and sedimentary. देखा? Metamorphic भी igneous और sedimentary बन सकता है. जैसे igneous and sedimentary metamorphic बन सकता है, वैसे ही metamorphic igneous या sedimentary भी बन सकता है. Okay? How? I will tell you. You will be surprised to know that one type of rock changes to another type under certain conditions and in a cyclic manner. ये constant एक cycle के form में होता रहता है. igneous sedimentary बना, sedimentary igneous बना, igneous metamorphic बन गया, metamorphic फिर से sedimentary बन गया. It keeps happening one way after the other. Okay, and this process of transformation of the rock from one form to another is known as rock cycle. रॉक के इसी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन को, क्योंकि वो फॉर्म बदल रहा है ना बार बार, रॉक के इसी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन को हम रॉक साइकिल कहते हैं. ओके, यू हैव ऑलरेडी लर्नड व्हेन द मॉल्टन मैग्मा कूल्स इट सॉलिडिफाइज टू बिकम इग्नियस रॉक. ये तो हम लोग पढ़ ही चुके हैं कि मैग्मा जो होता है व्हेन इट कम्स आउट ऑफ द मैंटल स्टेट, when it comes out on the crust, it cools down and then it solidifies and forms the igneous rock. These igneous rocks are broken down into small particles that are transported and deposited to form sedimentary rocks. ठीक है, यही एक igneous rock due to weathering and various other processes it wears down. ये टूटता रहता है, इसकी कोई ना कोई elements उड़ते रहते हैं and these sediments are transported and deposited to some other place to form sedimentary rocks. क्योंकि इसके sediments उड़ रहे हैं और कहीं जा रहे हैं, that is why sedimentary rock is made out of an igneous rock. एक igneous rock के sediment टूट कर sedimentary rock बना रहे हैं. That means igneous rock is converting into sedimentary rock. Though at some other place, किसी और जगह पे जाके sedimentary rock बन रहा है, but with the help of an igneous rock, the sediments are making as sedimentary rock. And when the igneous and sedimentary are subjected to heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rock. ये तो हम लोग पढ़ ही चुके हैं. When igneous and sedimentary rocks go into heat and pressure, go under heat and pressure, they change the form. The rocks change their form and they turn into metamorphic rock. The metamorphic rock which are still under great heat and pressure melt down. अब metamorphic rock बेचारा इतनी हीट में होता है, इतने प्रेशर में होता है कि बेचारा पिघल जाता है. It melts down and then it forms molten magma. Okay? This molten magma again can cool down and solidify into igneous rock. देखा? यही molten magma फिर से बाहर आएगा, ठंडा हो जाएगा, solidify होके फिर से igneous बन जाएगा. फिर से ये igneous के sediments उड़ जाएंगे और वो कहीं और जाके sedimentary rock बना देंगे. फिर ये sedimentary rock under heat and pressure फिर से metamorphic rock बना देगा. फिर ये metamorphic rock बहुत गर्मी और प्रेशर के चक्कर में फिर से मैग्मा में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. फिर ये मैग्मा बाहर आएगा और igneous बन जाएगा. एंड दिस साइकिल गोज ऑन. ओके, ये साइकिल चलती रहती है. पूरी ज्योग्राफी में हमारे वर्ड में इट कीप्स हैपनिंग कॉन्स्टेंटली ओवर द इयर्स. ऐसे एक दिन में फटाफट igneous rock नहीं बनता है. ओके, इट टेक्स years and years to form, but the cycle is constant. It's constantly moving. Okay. That is why we have named it as rock cycle. We call it rock cycle because one rock converts and form and changes into other form of rock, and this keeps happening round the clock. Okay. Another very important fact and characteristic about rocks are made up of different minerals. Okay, and it is possible that one rock has only one mineral. It is even possible that one rock has multiple minerals. Okay. How will you extract multiple minerals? You don't have to think about it. Okay. The geologists do this, the refiners do this, that they dissect and they differentiate between different types of minerals and then they extract it. But it is possible that one rock has multiple minerals. Okay. अब minerals क्या होते हैं? Minerals are basically chemical elements which are important for the development and growth of anything. Maybe your body, maybe any product, maybe anything, maybe any rock. Basically, minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and they have a definite chemical composition. Please remember this. Rocks are amalgamation of minerals, and minerals have definite chemical composition and have some physical properties as well. Okay. Minerals are very important to humankind because I told you they are some chemical elements which are very important for the growth and development of humans and various other products. Some minerals are used as fuels also. For example, coal. Coal is a mineral which we use as a fuel. Natural gas, petroleum, we use all these minerals as fuels. कोई पूछे ना petrol क्या है? Petrol is a mineral which we use as a fuel. Okay. They are also used in industries. For example, iron, aluminium, gold, uranium, etc. They are also minerals which are used as important substances in industries. And they are also used in medicine, in fertilizers, etc. Alright. Now children, here is an activity for you. You have to collect some pictures of some monuments and find out which are the rocks used to build them. Okay. Two pictures have already been collected for you. First is the Red Fort and second is the Taj Mahal. The Red Fort is made up of red sandstone and Taj Mahal is made up of white marble. Now you have to collect some more pictures of the monuments and you have to find out कि वो कौन से rocks से बनी है वो monuments. Okay. Now let's recall the chapter with the help of some exercises. So first is answer the following questions. First part of this first question is, what are the three layers of the earth? कितनी layers पढ़ी थी हम लोगों ने chapter में? 3 layers. The crust, the mantle and the core. The crust, the mantle and the core. Right? 3 layers पढ़ी थी. Second part, what is a rock? Rock क्या होता है? Rock is basically an aggregate of minerals. Mineral elements का बना हुआ aggregate ही rock होता है. A mass of mineral matter that makes up the crust of the earth is called rock. Or you can say the aggregates of mineral are termed as rocks. Part 3. Name 3 types of rocks. 3 types कौन-कौन से पढ़े थे? The 3 types of rocks are igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. Fourth part. How are extrusive and intrusive rocks formed? मैंने बताया था extrusive forms, intrusive rocks क्या होते हैं और उनका formation क्या होता है. Extrusive की बात करते हैं पहले. Due to extreme heat in the interior of the earth, rocks are found in the form of molten material जिसको हम magma कहते हैं. अर्थ के अंदर इतनी extreme heat होती है that rocks are found in the form of molten material. वो ऐसे solid form में नहीं मिलते, molten material form में मिलते हैं जिसे हम magma कहते हैं. And when this magma comes out on the surface of the rock, it cools down. And when it cools down, it turns into solid rocks. Such solid rocks are termed as extrusive rocks. पिघला हुआ मैग्मा जब बाहर आता है और सॉलिड बन जाता है और एक रॉक का फॉर्म ले लेता है, then they are known as extrusive rocks, जिसका एग्जाम्पल है बसॉल्ट. पूरा डेक्कन ट्रैप बसॉल्ट से बना हुआ है. And when we talk about intrusive, when the molten magma cools down within the interior of the earth, अर्थ के अंदर ही अंदर पक्का हो जाए, सॉलिड हो जाए, then it becomes solid to form intrusive rock, जैसे कि ग्रेनाइट या फिर गैब्रो. ठीक, अर्थ के अंदर अंदर ही अगर मैग्मा ठंडा होके रॉक बन जाता है इनसाइड, then it is intrusive. बट अगर मैग्मा बाहर आके आउटसाइड, अगर मैग्मा बाहर आके सॉलिड होता है तो हम उसे एक्सट्रूसिव कहते हैं. ओके, नेक्स्ट पार्ट. What do you mean by a rock cycle? Igneous rocks change into sedimentary rocks. Igneous and sedimentary under heat and pressure change into metamorphic rocks. And then again metamorphic rocks change into igneous or सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स ड्यू टू मेल्टिंग या फिर वियरिंग डाउन, या तो मेल्ट होता होगा रॉक या तो वियर आउट होता रहता होगा कोई ना कोई एलिमेंट। इसी पूरे प्रोसेस को हम रॉक साइकिल कहते हैं कि एक रॉक, एक टाइप ऑफ रॉक दूसरा टाइप ऑफ रॉक कैसे बनता है। द इग्नियस चेंज इनटू सेडिमेंट्री, igneous and sedimentary change into metamorphic, then metamorphic again change into igneous or sedimentary because of melting and wearing down. Then this process is known as rock cycle. Okay. Sixth part. What are the uses of rocks? क्या क्या uses हो सकते हैं? Hard rocks are used in making buildings and barrages. Houses and buildings are built of rocks. जैसे कि हम stones use करते हैं, slate use करते हैं, granite use करते हैं, marble use करते हैं. All these kind of stones are used in making the houses and buildings, right? Then rocks such as stones and slates are used in building bridges also and embankments also. Bridge और embankment बनाने में भी इनका बहुत काम आता है. Sometimes the rocks are also used as fuel, क्योंकि इन rocks के अंदर बहुत सारा ऐसा material होता है which can be extracted and can be refined into some or the other fuel. Okay? So rocks are sometimes used as a fuel also. Hence, these rocks are used by industries also. Okay? So these are the uses of rocks. Seventh part. What are metamorphic rocks? हम लोगों ने बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ा था. क्या होता है metamorphic? कोई भी igneous rock or sedimentary rock under heat and pressure changes into a metamorphic rock. Okay? When under heat and pressure, igneous rock or sedimentary rock change their form and more precious rocks are formed, then they are known as metamorphic rocks. Okay? Examples क्या हैं? Granite change हो जाता है नीस में, coal change हो जाता है slate में, slate change हो जाता है schist में, limestone बदल जाता है marble में. These kind of formation of rocks and change in the form into a precious rock because of heat and pressure are known as metamorphic rocks. Okay. Now question number 2. Tick the correct answer. यहाँ पे हर statement के 3 options हैं. You have to choose the one correct option. First part is the rock which is made up of molten magma is. Molten magma से बने हुए rock को क्या कहते हैं? Igneous rock. Second part, the innermost layer. Innermost पूछा जा रहा है. The innermost layer of the earth is crust, core या mantle. क्या होता है सबसे innermost? Core. बताया था ना मैंने, core, then mantle, crust, then mantle, then core. फोटो भी दिखाई थी, if you don't remember. Third part, gold, petroleum and coal are examples of rock, mineral or fossil. गोल्ड, पेट्रोलियम, कोल ये रॉक है कि मिनरल है कि फॉसिल है? बताओ. मिनरल्स हैं, करेक्ट. फोर्थ पार्ट, रॉक्स विच कंटेन फॉसिल्स आर. जिन रॉक्स में फॉसिल्स होते हैं हम उन्हें क्या कहते हैं? सेडिमेंट्री रॉक, मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक, इग्नियस रॉक. बताइए क्या कहते हैं? अंडर हीट एंड प्रेशर सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स. ओके, क्योंकि यही वो सेडिमेंट्स हैं जिसके अंदर कोई एक फॉसिल जम गया है, राइट? एंड इसीलिए इतनी इजीली जब कोई भी चीज वियर आउट होती है तो हमें उसके अंदर का फॉसिल मिल जाता है. ओके. फिफ्थ पार्ट, द थिनेस्ट लेयर ऑफ द अर्थ. थिनेस्ट लेयर कौन सी है? क्रस्ट की है कि मेंटल की है कि कोर की है? थिनेस्ट लेयर किसकी है? क्रस्ट की है. द थिनेस्ट इज क्रस्ट. ओके, ऑल राइट. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, मैच द फॉलोइंग. यहाँ पे कुछ क्लू दिए हुए, यहाँ पे कुछ वर्ड्स दिए हुए हैं और उनसे एसोसिएटेड कुछ क्लू या उनके मीनिंग दिए हुए हैं. एंड यू हैव टू मैच द करेक्ट वर्ड with the correct clue. Okay, words are ore, minerals, rocks, clay, सियाल. और क्लू दिए हुए हैं earth's surface used for road and buildings, made of silicon and alumina or aluminium, has definite chemical composition, innermost layer, changes into slate, and G clue is process of transformation of the rock. Now match it. The correct answer is core is the innermost layer, the E part. Minerals has definite chemical composition, D part. Rocks used for road and building, B part. Clay changes into slate. F part. Sial, it's made of silicon and alumina. लिखा भी हुआ है Cl, silicon, alumina. C part. Okay? ये A और G मैंने ऐसे ही एक्स्ट्रा दे रखा था to confuse you. Okay? All right, next. Give reason. So यहाँ पे एक statement दिया होगा और आपको उस statement को explain करने के लिए you have to give some reason for it. I have given you a clue to the answer, but you can add more if you have any reason. First is we cannot go to the center of the earth. Center of the earth core में. हम क्या core में जा सकते हैं? We cannot go to the center of the earth because of the following reasons. पहली बात तो ये that thickness is 6,371 kilometers. That is the radius of the earth. क्या इतनी खुदाई करोगे? 6,000 किलोमीटर खोद डालोगे अंदर जाने के लिए, which is impossible to do. Okay. Second, temperature increases with depth at 1 degree Celsius per 32 मीटर. हर 32 मीटर पे 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस बढ़ जाता है. ठीक है, तो सोचो आप जब तक नीचे पहुंचोगे कितना 1000 डिग्री सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर हो चुका होगा, जा ही नहीं पाओगे. There is extreme heat and pressure of overlying rocks. Everything is in a molten state. It's impossible to sustain life in the core of the earth. There is no oxygen to survive as well. और humans को तो oxygen चाहिए. There is no oxygen to survive. Okay? So these are the reason why we cannot go to the center of the earth. पहली बात, the thickness of the earth is very huge. It's 6,371 kilometers. You have to dig the earth 6,000 kilometers, only then you can go to the center. Second, the high temperature. Third, the extreme pressure of rocks. Everything is in molten state. Fourth, there is no oxygen. How will you survive? Okay. Second statement. Sedimentary rocks are formed from sediments. Sedimentary rocks sediments से बने होते हैं. Simple. But reason क्या है इसका? If someone asks you that sedimentary rocks are formed from sediments, तो आप कह दोगे हाँ ये तो मुझे पता है, but you have to tell them why. Sedimentary rocks are formed from sediments because of the following reasons. First is igneous rocks and metamorphic rocks decompose, or maybe they disintegrate, or maybe they wear down due to the weathering process. This material is carried away by running water, or maybe by wind, or maybe by glacier. Then this material deposited in low-lying areas and it is called sediment. ये ओढ़ के sediment जाते हैं इधर उधर और कहीं deposit होने लग जाते हैं, right? और इन्हीं deposited elements को हम sediments कहते हैं. When sediments are solidified into layers, सोचो एक कोई sediment गिरा फिर एक कोई गिरा, ऐसे करते करते इतनी बड़ी layer बन जाती है और एक बहुत बड़ा सा sedimentary rock बन जाता है. Okay? When sediments are solidified into layers due to pressure from overlying sediments, they are called sedimentary rocks. क्योंकि एक के ऊपर एक sediments का pressure आता रहता है and hence they are formed into a form of a rock, जिसे हम sedimentary rock कहते हैं. Okay, that is why sedimentary rocks are formed from sediments or maybe the pressure of one sediment over the other. Okay. Next statement. Limestone is changed into marble. ये हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था metamorphic rocks में, right? But you have to tell why. Limestone is changed into marble due to the following reasons. First is the overlying layers of rock put pressure on the underlying rocks. पढ़ा ही था, कोई एक rock में जो layer है, one layer puts pressure on the other layer and that is why the form of the original rock is changed. From the surface to the interior of the earth, temperature and heat also go on increasing, and due to pressure and heat, the original limestone changes into marble. Because of the heat and pressure and constant pressure of the overlying layers, the limestone is changed into marble. All right. So with this, we have come to the end of lesson number 2. Happy learning, revise well. We'll see you in the next one.